But let's start at the beginning. This is the Ace of Wands, and I'm not Ace of Wands, I'm sorry, Eight of Wands. And this is, a lot of motion, a lot of information may be coming down. You may be collecting information. You may be looking at projects. It may require some action, more action than you are really willing to do, or it may be, something all of a sudden that comes out of the sky that really needs your attention. But this does feel like it's affecting all things in your life, whether it's your health, your work, your family. But it does feel like there's big shooting arrows of things to do all of a sudden kind of coming out of the sky. So it does feel like that you're having a lot more motion in your life and a lot more have-tos and things to do, especially if you've had people that are ill in your family or new births in your family. So there's a lot more action kind of picking up the slack of other people when they are not able to do what they normally do. So you may be called into action, called into service for your family or your friends. Normally that might not be a good thing, but it does feel like in this case, it is very good for you to have some contribution and to help people out that are kind of immersed in beginnings and endings. So it would be a good thing for you to pick up some of the slack that they are unable to do because of these large transitions, whether they're leaving their body, whether they are sick, or whether they're bringing a new body into the universe. So it does feel like there's a call to action that requires a little more effort on your part. What crosses you is the alone again. Naturally, you would just rather hibernate. This is the hibernation card. This is the Four of Pentacles, and it does look like that it has been your normal bent over the last couple of months, whether you're healing yourself physically, emotionally, or mentally, that you've been kind of hibernating, and that there is a call to action now. So you do not have that luxury anymore if you would like to be effective and helpful. The Four of Pentacles is very different than the Hermit, which is also an isolation card. The Hermit is kind of an action in isolation, like going to the top of the mountain to get information, or doing praying, or going within, whereas this is kind of the hiding card. So make sure that you create some alone time for you, so you don't sabotage anything and just run away. I know some Aquariuses do that, but it does look like the call to action is very real right now, and you are needed. Your service is needed, so don't hide away. And you have some very good advice, and you have some really important help and awareness for the rest of the dynamic that is going on. So no hiding, Aquarium. The Empress is here. This is also validating on the transitions. This is new beginnings. This is planting seeds. It could be anything from a garden to a project to planting a baby or a baby birthing. So the Empress also can be coupling. But it doesn't feel so much as coupling as it does feel like new beginnings, babies, gardens, starting something new, following it to fruition type of thing, and nurturing. So it does feel like you're being called to be around kids a little bit more is what I'm picking up. So you may be watching a child for someone who just started a job, or, that you're just needed a little bit more in the family, or but it does feel like you're around children. There's a lot of children around you, I'm feeling, in the month of July as well as August. So time to nurture those little ones a bit, Aquarius. And this is kind of the accolade card. This is a Six of Wands, and this is when you're honored, when you're noticed for your contribution, when you're actively thanked for your contribution, that it isn't ignored. So this could be getting a This is getting an honoring of some kind. It can't even be financial. You could be getting a raise or a promotion, or it could be as easy as your family saying, thanks so much for filling in all the gaps, or driving great Aunt Minna back to the airport or something like that. But it does look like your contribution is acknowledged and will be rewarded as well. Whereas maybe in the past it was kind of overlooked and just expected. Now it really feels like family, work, friends are really honestly looking at the contribution that makes things run so much better and honoring you for making the changes that you needed to make. So congratulations, Aquarius. This is the Two of Wands here. There's lots and lots of wands, lots of energy, lots of motion happening for you in this beginning part here. So two is about making a decision. Two is about finding a balance. It's also looking like you're looking into the future a little bit more, that you've gotten a little bit more wings underneath you. You may have gotten permission to travel when you haven't been traveling or even looking at that. It does feel like that you're looking over a large body of water. So this may be in Europe somewhere. You may be saving to do that, or, going over a great body. You may be European and coming over here, but it does feel like you have made a decision to either save or go visit someone there. Save your money to go visit someone there. But you're looking at the world as a bigger picture now. It does feel like over the last couple of months, your world was really small, that it may have just included the city, the town, or the state that you're in. But now you're looking at the bigger picture. And it does feel like for some reason you weren't able to even entertain the thought of either traveling or going great distance. And it could have been a challenge with finances. It could have been a challenge with time, or a physical challenge that you were unable to travel for a while. So it does feel like there is a shift in that, but it does look like you are planning something for the future, and it has to do with a large body of water. So congratulations on healing yourself. Congratulations on taking that step forward into making your world and your hopes and dreams a little bigger than just the small amount that you were allowing yourself before. So it does look like you gave yourself permission to look at the big picture a little bit more realistically. This key is lighting up for me as a legacy key. You may have or be in line to inherit something, or someone may gift you something to make this possible. But it does feel like a family gift, inheritance. Something is making this a little bit more possible, and it has to do with an agreement in the family area, the legacy area. So who knows? Maybe great Aunt Minna left you some money and you didn't know about it till now. The card for the future is the 7. This is the 7 of Pentacles. This is kind of collecting information, looking at your resources, looking at all the different choices that you had. Since you have broadened your availability and broadened your awareness, it looks like a lot more choices have opened up. You may be thinking about actually moving to some place, or spending a little bit more time with people out of the area. It does feel like you're putting a little bit more motion. I am feeling that the last 6 months, Aquarius, was kind of a solitary time for you. I don't know if you were sad or depressed or just not feeling it, moving around in the world as much, but it does look over the last month or two that you have a little bit more wings behind you, and that now your choices have opened up. You've given yourself permission to live a little bit grander, a little bit fuller, and to maybe visit people that you haven't seen in a while, to reach out and to, call your sister or your brother that lives in Nebraska that you haven't talked to in ages. So it does look like you are changing your awareness on what your capabilities are and what your priorities are. So you may have gotten, maybe one of your children is pregnant, and that has opened up the possibilities of traveling or living with them. Maybe your mother has changed a job and you are going to move there. So it does feel like all possibilities have opened up much broader, and you're actually embracing some changes and things that you never even thought you would be interested in, but you have kind of sparked your awareness and your curiosity of trying different things and putting down some of these fears. Orange has lit up for me a lot in this reading as well. I think Capricorn had it as well. So it does feel like you have been able to heal yourself a little bit further so you can physically do some things. So I don't know if it is a physical healing, broken bone, tumor or something like that, but it does feel like you've been given a new lease on life and you don't want to waste it. You do not want to waste it. You know, we are only here for a limited time. So it does feel like there was a bit of maybe wallowing, sadness, or even mental or physical ailment that was happening during the winter. And now you have a new lease on life that you're really raring to go. Not quite sure which direction to go because you got some choices. It does feel like you've made a solid decision to make a really solid positive change in your life. And now you're kind of pulling the information on the other possibilities that you have for yourself. So that's wonderful. The Wheel of Fortune is here. This is a higher echelon card. It can mean whatever you put into life, you will get back. But the Wheel of Fortune is a very, very lucky card. So play the lotto. Say the things that you want to say. Ask that person out. Communicate to your partner the new things you want to do. Take a chance, basically. Take a chance on something you've always wanted to do, or communication that you've always wanted to share, or just an investment, starting something new that may be a little tricky and that you're not quite 100% sure about. So take a chance. This does feel like new endeavors are coming to you. It does feel like one thing is ending and new things are beginning. So go ahead and jump in there. Make some of those decisions to start things new that you've always wanted to do. Page of Pentacles is here. This is about messages. It can be messages about material things, physical things. Money is Pentacles. So for the most part, this is a message, probably good news regarding money or material goods, some worldly ambition. It may be validation. You may be getting, you may have put a resume out there, so you may be getting information about a new job or an investment. You may be switching stocks. You may be inheriting as well. This is the inheritance card. You have a couple of cards that kind of dictate getting money from family sources or unknown sources, or in line for things. It doesn't necessarily mean money. It can mean things. You might be inheriting a car. Somebody may be gifting you something that, the old bookcase that said Great Aunt Minna had, but there is some shift of material goods and shift of money. So things are coming a little clearer for you, Aquarius, around money. It can be as simple as paying off, the bills that you've been paying. You may have been paying a bill for 2 or 3 years. You might be coming to the end of that. So you have a little bit more fluidity with your finances. With this inheritance card, you may be getting a stipend of some kind or something that you didn't know you were getting. Something has opened up to you, or the possibility has as well. I do not see the death card here. I do see the transformation happening. So it's highly possible that it's inheritance, or somebody just, giving you their car, or just kicking down a windfall, but you are open and ready to receive some kind of physical thing, whether it's money or gifting of something. Can even be someone's time helping with a project. The Queen of Cups is here. She's a very intuitive person. This may be someone in your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be a female, but the Queen of Cups is like the most intuitive and a feeling of all queens. She's kind, she's creative, and she can be very, very psychic. So this does feel like a person. This actually has the valence of a female, but this does feel like there's someone in your life that you would like to make some wrongs right again, that it does feel like you're not as close as you used to be. This could be a life partner. This could be a child. This could be a parent, but this is someone close in your heart. This is not someone that you work with, but this does feel like there is an amends to be made to this queen. Um, that something didn't end well. I don't feel like this person is out of your life, but I do feel like this person has helped you over the years and that they deserve some acknowledgement from you. And that it does feel like you will recreate either your friendship or your connection in present time, that you will it's changed a little bit. This may be someone from your past that is re-entering, but it does feel like there's an amends to be made to this person, an acknowledgement of their contribution to your success, and that you really want to reach out and communicate with them. So don't be afraid to. This is someone who's always got your back, and it's someone that hasn't left your world, but it does feel like there was a little static. Could have been a year or two ago. So it does feel like you'll pick up in a new place and that you will have celebration and joy. But it is someone that you want to include in your life that has not been as prevalent in your life in the last year or so. So you want to kind of clean that up. Of course, all relationships that go through any tumultuous stuff will be different on the other side, either for the good or for the challenging. So as long as you take this friendship, this lover, this person in a new space, I think that we'll be fine and you will move forward in kind of jubilation and celebration. This culmination card is the celebration card. It's the Three of Cups. It can also be, let me see, Three of Cups, Three of Cups. Well, jubilation. This is about celebrating. So if you've had new births, this can also be those transition celebrations of life. This is getting together with people and rejoicing and finding the good in even kind of a funky situation. So it does feel like this is coming up in August and that you're reconnecting with family members, friends, and you're really finding the joy in life a little bit more. It does look like you had some worries over the last 6 months, but now you're really kind of enjoying life and incorporating some of the people that have been out of your life a little bit, and you're reaching out a little bit more, not just waiting for them to reach out to you. On the left side of this for clarity is the inheritance, the abundance card. So if you haven't gotten money, things, or gifted time, this may just be looking at life a little bit more joyfully. You're allowing yourself to do some of the fun things in life, not just saving for a rainy day, but actually being more generous to yourself and others. It does feel like you went through a little period of anger to get to the other side here, but I'm feeling that that has dissipated and you are no longer in that kind of anger and tumultuous communication with people, that you have really kind of looked at things as they are, and you're enjoying the now a lot more. All those things from the past that you've had energy in, it doesn't do any good today. Nothing from the past really that hurt you in the past is beneficial today. You've learned that lesson, and it's an opportunity to release and to grow. And it does look like you have embraced that opportunity. Sweet Aquarius, congratulations. The other side of here for clarity is the 6. This is kind of the floating card, letting somebody else drive the boat, not forcing your will, just going with the flow. It does feel like you're kind of waiting. You might be in a limbo a little bit, especially if someone is ill in your family and they have not passed into the light, or if someone is pregnant and they haven't brought that baby into the universe yet. So it does look like you're kind of waiting for some of the signs to move forward, but you're kind of in limbo and, just cleaning up and doing what you can in present time until the next situation presents itself. But there's another child here on this side. So it does feel like there are more children around you as a whole, and that it's bringing joy and laughter into your life. You know, there's nothing like a baby's laughter to remind you about the simple pleasures in life. So it does feel like you have simplified your life a little bit, getting back to what's real and what's true, and connecting with your magic a little bit more, Aquarius. So that's your general reading. I'm going to throw a couple of these gypsy cards. I was gifted these by a dear sister in the islands. And kind of one or two words. Let's see what they have. Lord. So it's time to own your stuff. Be responsible for things that you're responsible for. And take care of those that are less fortunate as you are. Prison. So it does look like you have released some of that. And it feels like you were a prisoner of your thoughts for a little bit in winter. So you may slip back into some of that while you're in limbo waiting for your next step. But it does feel like you have successfully moved out of that overthinking kind of prison that really wasn't advantageous for your growth.